besties. Welcome back to the Bestie Talk podcast. I'm your host, Kianna Jit, and today we are going to be talking about love, honey. Love, love, love. And you might have looked at today's title and being like, ugh. I know today's title might be a little scary. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet, but I got a couple in my mind and I know it might be a little scary, but it's because today we're going to be talking about love, but we're going to be talking about toxic love, okay? Today, I'm about to open up. I'm going to blow the spot up on your toxic ass man. You might be with a toxic man, and we're going to open up your eyes today. We're going to clean your eyes, okay, to be able to see all the toxicity that he's pulling on you. Or, I don't want to scare a lot of y'all away because there might be some of you guys that are like, I don't got a toxic man. I'm good. Like me, I don't got a toxic man, so I'm good, right? But I need you to listen with open ears because not only is this good information for you, but this is good information for your friends, for your family, for you to be able to be aware of the toxic signs of men. And also, this isn't just going to be an episode about bashing men and just hate men. I hate men most of the time. I love my man, but I hate men. Okay, let's get it clear. Okay, I hate men, but I love my man. My man is not like most of these men out here. Most of these men out here are scary, real scary. Love my man, hate men. Don't get it twisted. But this episode is not going to be just about bashing men. This can be about women too. Okay, this is just about toxic things, toxic relationships, toxic signs and relationships that you need to watch out for. If it's for you, if it's for your friend, if it's for your family member, whoever this is for. You guys can also apply a lot of the things that I'm saying in today's episode to friendships as well. You guys know how I always talk about toxic friendships, toxic relationships. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm really excited for today's episode because being a waxer, I hear so many, being a waxer, being a podcaster, being a girl's girl, being a friend, being all of the titles that I am, I hear some crazy ass fucking stories about men and about relationships, and it just be blowing my literal mind every single day. Like I'm like, it cannot get worse. The shit that I have heard, I'm like, it cannot get scarier than this, but honey, it gets scarier and scarier and scarier every single day. So I'm really excited to talk about this today because we need to be opening up our eyes, girls. Come on. We're done. I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired of hearing how unappreciated you guys are in your relationships. I'm tired of hearing how shitty these men treat you. I'm real motherfucking tired. So we are going to change that today. You are going to hear everything that I'm going to talk about. You're going to hear me spit my shit, and you're going to open up your eyes, and you're going to walk away from some toxic ass man, or you're going to help your best friend walk away from some toxic ass man. Okay. So get your pens and papers out. We're going to motherfucking school. Number one, I cannot stand when a man always dismisses, or when anybody, like I said earlier, relate this to anybody. I'm gonna say man, but you relate it to whoever you need to relate it to, okay? I cannot stand when they dismiss your emotions. Listen, being emotionally mature has nothing to do with your emotions and your feelings. It's about being able to control your emotions and your feelings. If you are a man, or if you have somebody that is always telling you you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, it's because they have the same exact emotions that you have. But the only difference is they cannot control it. They don't know how to control it, because anger and frustration and jealousy, those are emotions, honey. And most of the time, these men don't know how to control it. So when they say you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, it's because they are emotionally intelligent. So do not, when they're telling you you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, you're too this, you're too that, you need to understand that if you are emotionally tapped in, if you're tapped into your emotions, you're tapped into your feelings, you feel your feelings, you cry at movies, you cry at people hurting your feelings, you can feel all these different types of feels throughout the day. You're feeling sad, you're feeling happy, you're feeling angry, you're feeling frustrated, whatever it is, whatever the emotions are, if you are feeling those emotions and you can articulate yourself and tell somebody, hey, I am feeling A, B, and C, and they tell you that you are too sensitive and you are too emotional every single time you bring it up, it is because they do not have any emotional intelligence. And that is a huge sign, because most, if they are not emotionally intelligent at this point in their life as they're dating you, they are more than likely never going to gain the emotional intelligence that you have, because they obviously have not worked on themselves at all to be able to get to where you're at right now. So walk away while you fucking can. And if you are considering we're being in this relationship with this person who is not emotionally intelligent and who is always telling you that you are too emotional and you're too sensitive, I want you to understand that if you want to continue on this relationship with this person and have children with them, they are going to say the same exact things to your kids. Do you want that? When you are looking at a partner, when you are looking at somebody that you are with, and there is a potential, because listen, I don't want to hear, oh, well, we're not looking into having kids right now. If you are having sex with a man, he has the potential to be your baby's dad. And if you don't want your baby's dad to treat them like shit and to tell them that they're too emotional and they're too sensitive anytime they come to their dad with their issues, then he should not be in your life. He should not be your boyfriend. He should not be your fiance. He should not be your sneaky link. He should not be your husband. If you don't want any of that to happen to your kid because he tells you all of those things, then you need to get up and walk away, even the sneaky link. Because if you're having sex with a man, he could be your baby's father. It doesn't matter if you have a bulletproof fucking condom and you're on birth control. God's going to do what God's going to do. If he wants a baby to come up in this world, a baby's going to come up in this world. So you need to be extra careful with who y'all are humping with. I love you guys with all of my heart. I say it because I love you, but we need to be a little bit more careful who we're laying down in the bed with, because trust me, I've seen it way too many times where you're laying down in bed with somebody that you would never, ever, 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 ever in a million years want to be a father to your children. And then they become the father to your child. And now your child is facing the repercussions of your actions because you're laying in bed with them. And now they're a shitty ass dad. And your child has now some childhood trauma that could have been avoided if we did not lay with said man. Love y'all. That's coming from a place of love. I know you guys, there's going to be a lot of y'all that are rolling your motherfucking eyes listening to me right now, but I love you. I'm saying it from a place of love because somebody has to say it to you, girl. Somebody's got to say it. I love you. If you want to be with this person, if you're looking at this person and you're like, I really, really want to be with you. I want to grow. I want to evolve. And they are not emotionally intelligent or they do not have any emotional maturity. I'm sorry, but there is not going to be a relationship that can evolve. If they don't have any emotional intelligence or maturity, they cannot evolve and grow into a better and bigger person. You might be able to grow and become a better person and learn from past mistakes and heal your traumas. But if they don't have that, they're never going to be able to do that. So it's just going to be a dynamic where you're growing, and they're staying in the same exact playing field. They're staying in the same exact energetic field. And they're not growing, and you're going to have that disconnect in the relationship. And that is toxic because they are going to weigh you down in your relationship. Sometimes just because they aren't abusive, they aren't incredibly emotionally abusive, does not mean that they are a good partner for you. Does not mean that it is a good relationship. If they're just simply emotionally unintelligent, if they are emotionally immature, that also is a bad relationship. That also is a toxic relationship, because they're never going to be able to understand where you are coming from with things that you face on an every single day basis, or the traumas that you are coming from. And you're always going to be left questioning, why doesn't he understand me? Why doesn't he see my emotions? Why doesn't he feel my feelings? It's because he doesn't have the space or the capability to do so. So you need to be able to walk away now before it gets worse, because that's another thing with everything that I'm going to talk about today. Listen, you guys can all listen to today's episode and choose not to listen to me and choose to ignore me. And that's totally fine. You can choose to ignore me. We all have free will. But what I will promise you is this: it is not going to get better if you continue to ignore an issue. An issue doesn't go away. I know we all have this avoidant personality or this avoidant tendencies, but you cannot ignore an issue, whether it's in your relationship, your family, your career, and expect the issue to just go away. The issue will just continue to grow every single day until it becomes something that you feel like it is controlling your entire life. I promise you that. So y'all can ignore me. Y'all can ignore me. That's totally fine. But it's going to become an issue that you just cannot ignore anymore eventually down the line. One last thing with the emotional intelligence that I want to talk about. If he cannot validate your feelings when he has hurt your feelings, when he has scarred you emotionally, it's because when he validates those feelings, he is admitting, he is taking accountability for his actions. And that is releasing control. And a lot of men, specifically toxic men, cannot handle releasing any sense of control. If he is always making you feel guilty for experiencing things outside of him, especially if they are things that better you, then he is toxic. If you want to go back and get a higher education, if you want to change your appearance, if you want to start working out, if you want to get new friends, if you want to go to therapy, and he has an issue with all of those different types of things, it's because he has controlled you for so long. He has created a safe space to him in this crazy world, okay? Because toxic men cannot stand how other toxic men have control over them. So they want to create control in their own homes or in their own relationships or within their women, their girlfriends, their wives, whatever. So they have found control within you. And when you try to break from that control mold, when you try to become a different person than the one that they started to control in the first place, they can't stand that. And they will play tricks on you. They'll make you feel guilty. They'll make you feel like shit for trying to do that. Listen, one thing I will give toxic men, one thing I'll give them is they're smart as hell. They can gaslight you. They can make you feel feelings that you never thought you would feel in a million years. They can make something so innocent as trying to become a better person for yourself, going to therapy to fix your own traumas that you faced since you were a kid and make you feel guilty for it. It's insane. It's insane. It literally baffles me. It baffles me how they can quite literally make something so innocent turn into something so sinister and so manipulative and make a woman truly think, oh my God, you're right, babe. You're right. I'm wrong. I don't know why I wanted to do this. You're right. I shouldn't go out and do this. I shouldn't go spend the money. You're completely right. I promise you, if you are trying to do something that is bettering yourself, like any of the things that I mentioned before, or anything at all that betters you, and your husband or your boyfriend tries to make you feel shitty or makes you feel guilty about that, like if you bring it up to him and you're like, hey babe, I decided I'm going to start therapy. I'm really excited. I really want to start working through my traumas because my traumas, cause problems in our relationships. So I'm going to start going to therapy. I'm really excited about it. And he comes back with some crazy ass shit, or you leave that conversation feeling guilty, or you leave that conversation feeling like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Or you've decided decided now I'm not going to do that, then he is toxic as fuck and he just manipulated the hell out of you. You need to watch yourself. You need to check in with yourself with these when you're in any relationship, rather if it's a toxic relationship or a good relationship, you need to constantly check in with yourself. I think that's a reason, and that's why sometimes women or anybody are in toxic relationships for so long, is because we have these blinders on for so long. You guys hear me talk about the Delulu glasses all the time. Well, we got the Delulu glasses on constantly. We're never checking in with ourselves. The one time that we do finally tell somebody about how our relationship is, if it was, if it's toxic or whatever, they're hitting us with, bitch, what the hell are you talking about? That's crazy. That's toxic. But if you were to check in with yourself and you told yourself all of the things, looked at it and analyzed the things that you have going on in your relationship and really checked in with yourself. How do I feel when I'm around him? What does he make me feel? Does he make me feel loved? Does he make me feel cared for? What's positive? What's negative within our relationship? I promise you, you will open your eyes a lot sooner rather than later. You need to check in with yourself, both if it's a positive relationship or a negative relationship. I check in with myself all the time when it comes to my husband. I look at our dynamic. How are we elevating? How are we staying still? How are we being stagnant? What do we need to do in our relationship to shake things up, to move forward, to grow and evolve, both as a couple, but also as individuals? Because the thing with toxic men is they don't ever want you to grow as an individual. If he is not supporting and promoting you to become a better person, if he's not advocating for you to be a better person, if he's not advocating for you to grow and promoting it and supporting it and go and chase after your dreams, then honey, he's toxic as hell. He wants you to stay at the same exact energetic field, the same exact category that you've always been, because that's the person that he controlled. That's the person he has his teeth and his fingers sunken into, and he's been able to control and bring down. If you even try to step out of that bubble that he has created, then you are no longer the person that he has controlled. And that is what threatens him. So that is what you need to do. If you feel a pit in your stomach every single time he walks into a room, if your throat starts to close in every single time you see him, if your palms start to get so sweaty and itchy and you start to shake, then those are not butterflies. That is your nervous system going into fight or flight mode. You need to understand that your nervous system has quite literally learned to survive in the chaos that he brings. If you are always constantly anxious or confused or not knowing which boyfriend, which husband you're going to get today, if you don't know how he's going to come at you when he walks through the door, if you don't know how he's going to answer the phone, if you're always like, how I don't know how he's going to be today, I don't know if he's going to be mad or if he's going to be happy, I'm scared, I'm always confused, I don't know what to do, then that is toxicity. That is the biggest sign of toxicity. If he is always so up, down, turn around, fucking crazy, you don't know how to go about your day when you are with him or when you're around him, he is creating chaos in your life. And a man should not be creating any type of chaos in your life. He should be creating peace in your life. That is what he should be doing. He should be making you feel at peace. He should be making you feel safe. He should not be putting you in a fight or flight mode. He should not be causing your nervous system to literally go into full effect and freak the fuck out. Do you know how many women, me included, how when I got into a safe relationship, when I got into my marriage and I felt calmness, I felt my nervous system finally relax, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't know what it was because my nervous system had always been in survival mode. I had always been in fight or flight mode. I had always been ready for anything, ready for a fight, ready to get hit, ready for anything. Okay. I was always on edge. I was ready to fight at all times. And when I found that healthy relationship, when I found my marriage, you guys, it's insane how many times I've heard women say, it almost feels abnormal. It almost feels like it's not safe, but it is safe. It's just that you are still dealing with the repercussions from being with a toxic ass partner who taught you that chaos is quote unquote safe, but it's not. So I want you guys to realize, if you're still in that toxic relationship, if you're still dealing with all of it and you're still feeling your nervous system or your anxiety or your fear creeping up, the physical symptoms that comes with, I want you to know that it gets better. Once you get out of it, it gets a lot better. But you need to heal that. You need to work on your nervous system. You need to work through it in order to get back to what you're actually supposed to be and what normalcy is. And that's not freaking out every single time your partner walks in a room. It's not getting anxiety or nervous when your partner walks into the house or pulls up in the driveway. That's not normal. Our last one for today is one of my favorites personally, because my bio father, he is the king of this, and that is never being able to take accountability. Okay, if your man cannot take accountability and his favorite lines are you always, you never, you this, you that, you're always the one, you're always the monster, he's always the victim, he never does anything wrong, that is toxic. He is never, ever, 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 ever going to grow out of it. He is always going to victimize himself, and he is always going to put the blame on you. And let me tell you one more thing. That is the biggest sign of a narcissist if I ever seen one. He is always going to put himself in the victim mode. He is always going to victimize himself from within the relationship when it's just you and him, and to everybody outside of the relationship. He will always do it. You are not going to be able to win. You are never going to get I'm sorry, babe, I was the wrong one. I did it. My bad. You're never going to get that. And if you're in the beginning stages of a relationship and this person is always talking about how the world is just against him. Oh my God, the world's just against him. Everything is just out to get him, his boss, everything, the fucking world just crumbling all around him. Run, because he will put all the blame on you eventually. He will also make himself the victim in your relationship as well. He is not going to magically take accountability with just you, and with everybody else, he's going to be a fucking victim. I promise you that. And when he doesn't take accountability, that is what's going to cause the real frustration within your relationship, because it is always going to be just on you, babe. It's always going to be you. You're always going to be the issue. And that isn't a real relationship. I know I probably ruffled a lot of feathers, y'all. And I'm sorry if I did. I really, truly am. I know how hard it is to hear the truth, especially when you want to love someone so bad. You want to believe the picture that you painted, because most of the time that is what we do. We paint a picture in our heads. First of all, we're painted a picture. We're painted a picture at first. This is who I could be. This is how I could treat you. This is the relationship we could have. And then you take it off and you take it running, and you paint the picture in your head of how amazing he could be, the husband he could be, the father he could be. If you always say, if he just did this, he would be an amazing father. If he just did this, he would be an amazing husband. He would be an amazing boyfriend. He's never going to do the things that you are saying if he just did blank. He's never going to do that. I understand how heartbreaking it is to hear the truth and to hear that the person that you want so bad to be the man of the year, the person that you want to be the husband and the dad that you could have dreamed for your kids, for you, whatever the case may be. It's hard to hear that he's never going to be that. But what's even harder is staying in that relationship for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And then you wake up one day and your whole life passed you by because you didn't get up the first time time you saw that first red flag and walked the fuck away. That's what's going to hurt a lot worse. I love you guys so much. I want you to remember, I know I come at y'all with some tough love sometimes. I know it can be a fucking like, damn, girl, you just slapped me across the face, and I get it. But it's coming from a place of love always. I say every single thing I do because I love you guys so much. Like, I know you hear people say that shit all the time. Like, you always see influencers say that, like, I love you guys so much. No, but I like legit love you guys. Like, my clients, my listeners, whoever it is, you guys, I worry about you guys all the time. I hear your guys' stories. My heart literally fucking breaks. I cry for you guys. I pray for you guys. Like, I love you guys so much. And I say all of this because I never want you guys to be in a shitty ass relationship or in a place where you are just constantly beat down and hurt all the time. Everything that I say, everything you see on the podcast is always coming from a place of love. So I love you guys so much. And I hope you genuinely learn from today's episode. I hope you learned not only for yourself, but also for those around you. So that way you guys can be on alert and you guys can spread awareness within your friends and your family and be able to be the person, be able to be me for somebody else. Okay. Be able to be the sounding alarm, the voice of reason for your friend or for your family, because we need more of it. We are saving so many other women every single day by openly talking about how toxic men can be and how toxic relationships can truly be and how controlling they can be, by openly talking about it in friend groups, on podcasts, on TikTok, on Instagram. Talking about it is what's saving a lot of women. So continue to do it. Continue to share your stories. Continue to listen. All of that. Continue to share. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you have an amazing week. I know everything still in the world is so fucking scary and every single day gets worse and worse, but it's going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. And I'm sending you guys love, light, and peaceful energy. I will see you guys next week on the next episode of the Bestie Talk Pod. Bye.